How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to you people that are not in this room. It's just me and Kev here. But I appreciate everyone's support. If you are new here, returning, I appreciate the support as always. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I really appreciate it.
Hit that follow button.
Yeah, make sure you follow me on Spotify and Apple. Those are my main two things. But wherever you get your podcast, I really appreciate it. And we're back from spring break. I know I didn't start this week off with an episode, man. I was just dead throughout spring break. I really needed that time to just relax, recoup. But with that said, we are here, and we are here with another, I would like to think, big name in Connecticut, and a person who's also started his own podcast.
Yes.
Kevin Bilbraut. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. I feel this is my first ever podcast I'm being hosted on. So
Yeah.
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And I knew as soon as I saw you were starting your podcast, I was like, yeah, I got it. Like, it's inevitable. Like, I'm going to get him on.
Sure.
And I'm not going to lie. That you announcing it where you had that photo of you with the mic and it's like the nah, but yeah. I thought that was sick. And then you have your home page started.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna let you do a little plug. You know, you can say where people can find you right now, and then when we end. So, where can people find your podcast and tell them what it's about?
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So my podcast is named Nah But Yeah. That name actually spiraled from a different podcast that I had with my roommate, and we kind of just got that going. It ended up we taking a break from that one because we have like a different way we want to take it. It's under construction, as I like to say. I was just telling you about that. But this one actually spiraled because when I have conversations, whether they're deep, whether they're surface level, whatever the case may be, something that I always say as like a connecting from thought to thought is nah but yeah. So I just felt like it was probably like one of the most natural things I could name something. And I talked about this in my first episode, like the name, the logo, and just the presentation of it is like one of the most important things because like you really have to love it. Like that's just something that represents you.
Oh yeah.
So that's something that.
And I love how you said that because I think I noticed when you first started doing those episodes with Jared.
Yeah.
You would say that.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as I was like, okay, like I like that, and because like for me, the Fudge effect is because my nickname is Big Fudge. So
absolutely.
I was like, and the reason why, and it even came to be is because shout out to my boy Cece. I was stressing the name. I don't know how long it took for you to stress the name. I think that's one of the hardest parts that people don't understand. Just to start,
the behind the scenes.
I can learn how to use my audio stuff. I can learn how to record and edit. But to come up with a name is so much harder than it sounds. And the fact that like it was out of my control. Like I didn't come up with the name.
That's the best part. Yeah, it's natural.
My favorite part was as soon as he said it, I just knew. I was like, yes.
Perfect.
And
it sticks.
And it sticks. And here we are, and
perfect,
it's good. It's good that you've been doing your thing, man.
Yeah.
I've listened to a few episodes. I like how you do the little stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, me like we'll chat it up for however long.
Absolutely.
And it's more in depth, like it's conversation based. And with you, it's like I get to sit down for a few minutes and just listen to someone talk about a certain subject or a certain topic going on, and like what your thoughts are based upon that.
Yeah.
And I think that's very, very neat. And that's the beauty of podcasts, because like we have two different things.
Yep.
But yet at the same time, it just provides some sort
genre.
of yeah. And I know the reason why I started doing podcasts. Do you know the reason why you wanted to start doing podcasts?
Yeah. So one, you can find my podcast on Spotify and Apple Music. I'm in the works right now of making a visual. Like I was just telling him, I'm almost a perfectionist in the way where I want the first product to be the best.
Oh yeah.
And I realize that's not the case with this stuff. So, the aesthetic that I have for my visual is what I'm really working on right now. But the reason I started podcasts was because I'm a talker. I love talking. I love having deep talks. Like I remember my freshman year of college, I used to stay up till like 2, 3 in the morning with my boys that I met that year.
Oh yeah.
We'd just be talking about anything, like just all the time, just staying up late talking.
Were you one of those people who said, "God, I wish someone could hear this"?
Yeah,
that was that's what I always kept saying.
Exactly.
And that's like, you know what I'm doing? I don't care. Like I'm making this happen.
And that's actually like part of the reason. So I'm having all these talks with people, and I've always been told like, I'm the person that people come to when they need advice,
right?
Or something's going on in their life and they just want to vent. Because also another thing that I like to say, I've told Jared this, my roommate, is a good quality and skill to have in being able to give advice is listening. Like, you need to really like be able to listen so that you can give genuine advice when you're talking to people or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, man. Like these types of conversations that I'm having back in the day, like I'm like, these are conversations I would love for anyone who has a phone to be able to hear. Yeah. Because everyone goes through stuff. Everyone, like, a lot of the times you're like, okay, I'm not going to vocalize this because this is a problem I have. Mm-hmm. But 9 times out of 10, there's other people in the world who are also going through stuff the exact same. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I always want someone to have, you know, if they need to go to my podcast for advice or if they need to just listen to something, take their mind off stuff, like, that's really what it is for me.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I really wish I had. See, the thing was, I had the time, I didn't have the money, and I didn't have, like you said, the aesthetic. Because, like, I wanted, if I was going to do this, I needed to have the posters. I needed to have that stuff. Yeah. And that's just for me personally. For anyone listening or watching, like, if you want to start something, you could start right now. Yeah. You know how, like, if it's a blurry ass camera and you go live on like a YouTube or like Instagram, just do it. Like, you know, it's better than nothing.
And it also, like, it's so satisfying. Like, yes, you fully acknowledge, all right, this is not my best work. Yeah. But there is growth. Is like when you start something to when you look back at even just the first episode from the second or from the third or the fourth, like, you see growth. And, like, I don't know if you've felt this way, but even just after I'm on episode, I just posted my 7th episode. I'm going on to episode 8. Yeah. And it's crazy because I look back at my first episode and I'm like, I don't want to listen to this. Like, I'm doing so much better in the 7th episode that I was in the first, that, like, I'm happy that I just, you know, ripped the Band-Aid off and was like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to just do it. And, you know, we're just going to grow from there. And that's the, like you said, that's the beauty of it.
Oh, yeah. I believe this is now episode 22. I'm going on episode 22 now, which is pretty crazy. My goal, it's very hard to set a goal and stick with it. Like, you know, everyone has that. Yeah. Everyone has that. I'm going to lose the weight New Year's thing. That's why I never make a New Year's resolution. For those that didn't know, I don't do that. If I have something I know I want to do, I try and keep it to myself. Yeah. Believe me, because I have been the person that says I'm going to do something and I never go through with it. And I'm stupid, but, you know, that's the human experience. I have, for this year, in terms of the podcast, my goals, I would like to say, well, on my Instagram, my goal is to get 1,000 followers. That's my goal. I'm at high 700s now. For YouTube, nice. I want to be close in the middle of 100. I'm at 66 right now. Yeah. And then I don't really know how many followers I have on the audio platforms, but I know it's going to take time.
Yeah, I can help you out with that.
I've checked like the Spotify I've checked that thing, like Spotify for podcasters. Yeah. I've checked it. I get like a decent amount of likes and stuff, but I don't necessarily have a lot of followers because I know a lot of people like to go to the YouTube. Yeah. And then they'll watch it, but they don't subscribe, which I would really appreciate if you do. Go hit that big red button. Yeah. But it's gonna take time, and
for sure,
you start that by once you start and build the foundation, you eventually grow. It's like a stock. It's like you gotta just let it ride. Yeah. Just believe in it. Just keep investing your time and energy. And at some point, like, I don't know if you know who Mr. Beast is. Probably do.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was literally on the Joe Rogan podcast like a few weeks ago, and he talked about how from the time he woke up, and as much as I try my best at the moment for this, like, he said him and his friends would literally just sweat day and night and like hardly get any sleep. Like, as soon as they woke up, by the time they went to bed, they were doing like conference calls and just sweating out how to get the best algorithms. He even said that, I forget the percentage of how many people won't technically be able to listen to your podcast or watch it because they don't understand what you're saying, like the language barrier. Yeah, he made his own YouTube, like Japanese, like a bunch of different language YouTube channels, and it's the same video, just like certain subtitles, and like someone else is narrating over his videos, and like that's genius.
It's genius.
Yeah. And like that's the kind of effort it takes. Yeah. And hopefully at one point over time it just grows, but like it can't happen overnight.
Yeah, and
nothing happens overnight.
That's why we were talking about it before. Yeah. Like, you genuinely have to love what you're doing, whatever the passion is. You have to genuinely love it because the beginning work, the foundation work is the most important, but it's also the hardest because that's when you're not getting as much support. You're not getting, the views you want to get. Yeah. It's very easily.
It's humbling.
Yeah, it's very easy to get unmotivated when you're not getting the views, when you're not getting this, when you're not getting that. So actually having passion behind what you're doing is what's going to drive you, and then it just falls into place after that. Like, and like my thing is like my goal for this year, like you said, your goal, you have a few, I have a few for mine, and it's mainly more so for the effect of like reaching more people. Like I want to be able to have an effect on more people for more ears, which means more effect.
Right.
And, just having an impact. That's my big thing.
Yeah. For me, it's kind of one of the situations where someone says they're going to do something, or someone says they're going to lose weight, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, yeah, okay. Like they'll say, like they'll cheer for you at first.
Yeah.
But deep down, they're like, all right, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
And then you're a month into working out. In this scenario, let's just use working out. You're working out. And then it takes 30 months to build a routine. I guess that's like that's just like what it is. So
30 months?
30 days. I was
30
about
days.
to say.
Okay,
yeah, sorry. 30 days to build a routine.
Habit, yeah.
And then, or build a good habit, yep. Or like whatever it is. And then, let's say you're, like, as soon as you hit that 30-day mark, like, like, oh, shit, like, this is easy.
Yeah.
Like, I can do this. Mm-hmm. The work is going to be hard, but I know that I have what it takes to go there every day
and do
or however many days and do it. Then let's say you're at, like, the 3-month mark. You lost, like, 20 pounds or whatever, and you already have, like, your routine going. Everything's good, and, like, no one's just saying anything. They're just, everyone's just doing their own thing. And then all of a sudden, one day, like, 9 months later, you are, like, cut.
Yep.
You're lean. You got everything going for you. You post that body transformation post that breaks the internet.
That one hits different.
And and then all of a sudden everyone's just gassing you. Oh my god, 50 comments. Boom. Oh my god. You're a beast. Like, how did you do this? And everyone's saying, bro, how did you do this?
Yeah.
That's when everyone says, how did you do it? And it's like, dude, you just weren't like paying attention this whole time leading up to this. Like, I told you I was gonna do something. You just didn't admit whether you didn't believe me.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. The way people work. And it's one of those like big time quotes. It's like they whisper your accomplishments and they scream your failures.
Yeah, which
is true. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is you do. So like I'm
absolutely,
because you're not on YouTube yet, right?
Not yet.
You're not.
No.
So for me, let's say I get 20 views. I don't care if I have 20 views on something or 1,000.
Yeah.
I don't care. I enjoy what I do.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna let it just keep going. And for those that or listen to what we're talking about, like seriously, like if you want to do something, it shouldn't matter what anyone else thinks. You only get one life, and we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get to that. But yeah,
and to add on to what you're saying, so I saw this thing the other day, and it hit so different because, just like you said, there's different phases. Like the first phase is mentally committing to whatever it is you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Then the process, the timeline is you go from not seeing any growth. The first person who sees the growth in anything of what your passion is you.
Oh yeah.
So that in itself should be a sole motivating factor in whether you keep going or not. So then it goes, no one sees it, you see it, everyone else sees it. Like that's the process of it. Like you're not gonna get the validation and the views and all that stuff is what comes last. Yeah. So like just building that foundation and go working from there is really what it is.
While you have this going on, I believe, are you in your final year of college now?
Yeah. So
because of COVID, you get that extra year as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Yep. So wait, is that going to be like a free year sort of situation, or how does that work?
Good question. So my education career story is I graduated from from Newington in 2017.
Okay.
And I went to CCSU my freshman year.
Yeah.
And
shout out CCSU. Yeah, that's where I go.
Shout out that school, man.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of where, I was talking about earlier how I would like stay up till 2 a.m, talking, hanging out with friends, doing stuff. Then my sophomore year, I transferred to the school I go to now that I'm going to graduate from, University of St. Joseph.
Yep.
And now I am doing 4 years, so this is going to be my 5th year of college.
Okay.
But 4th year at USJ, and I'm graduating with sports management and
So
a minor in psychology.
do you technically graduate this year?
Yeah.
And then you get to just chill out, just play. Do you have to take a class just to take it, or not at all?
So yeah, okay. So that's the next step in my process
Yep.
is I'm gonna be coming back for a master's.
Okay. Nice.
So I'm gonna be doing the master's program, which is a fall, spring, summer.
Perfect.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be able to use my 4th year of eligibility for sports.
If you were to talk to yourself in high school from right now, what would be like the biggest advice you would tell you back in high school?
Try
Whether
harder.
it's for sports or for just in general.
Try harder.
You think so? Try harder in
harder.
terms of what?
In terms of and I think for where I was then to where I am now, every aspect.
Yeah.
School, sports, mental health, like every aspect that I could possibly try harder
Yeah.
because, I didn't try that hard in school. I mean, I graduated. I graduated 3.0, so it's not like it's not crazy, but it's not good.
Yeah.
Soccer, volleyball.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I totally forgot you played volleyball. You were on those championship teams,
Yeah,
right? How many
yep.
did you win while you were there?
2.
So 2 of your. Wow, that's still crazy.
Yeah.
Wish I got a damn ring.
My freshman year.
Yeah.
It's ironic because I should technically have 3, but my
Yeah.
freshman year I didn't get called up because there weren't enough jerseys for the varsity team. Because that was the year where there was like 11, 12 seniors that were graduating that were on the team. So and there was only 20 something jerseys. So, but yeah, try harder, 100% try harder. And something that I'm learning now, well not learning now, but like mastering now is time management.
Oh yeah.
Like that was like
Biggest
my biggest struggle.
That's
like,
still probably one of my
Yeah.
biggest flaws right now.
And it's time management, holding yourself accountable. Those go hand in hand because like you can have the time management skill,
right,
but not hold yourself accountable, and it's just not gonna work.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
For me, it's so funny you say try harder. For me, mine's relax. And the reason being is because I was so anxious for no reason.
Yeah.
I don't know
completely understand.
why that was.
Yeah.
With every little thing I did.
Yeah.
Whether it was talking to, like you, back in, and it's going to sound crazy when I say this, back in high school, looking at people like you or someone else, like when it came to social media or just word around town, to me, if it's like, your name is like up here in terms of how often I hear it or I just see it, like a familiar, I'm like, dude, like I'm not on your level. I can't talk to you. Like that's the way my mind just naturally worked. Like when I would go to school, I couldn't listen to music with 2 earbuds in because I was afraid that people would think I'd be breathing too loud. Like I was that on edge. No shit, and I didn't know what anxiety was at the time.
Yeah,
you hear it, but you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And it was just like there was no time to just calm down and enjoy the experience. When I go to school now, I'm just chilling in class. Like, what's up, man? I couldn't do that. I was just like sitting like this.
Yeah.
Like I was always on edge. If somebody, like, let's say a girl, she's like, how'd you talk to? I'm like, like I was that guy.
Yeah.
Like thinking, like it's like chess. Like I have to know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
To hopefully they don't hate me and shit. Like I'm like constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly. And
everyone goes through that. I went through it too.
But I'm glad it happened then.
Yeah.
That's my biggest. That's
for sure.
Because now I'm just like,
bro,
I'm just chilling.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that growth, like in anything, bro, it's so satisfying. Like when you look back and you're like, this is where I was and this is where I am now and this is where I want to be. Like, it's the most satisfying thing ever.
And the thing that clicked with me is because I took a gap year right after high school, and then when I knew I wanted to go to college, I just did everything I could. I got in, and my very first day, I shit you not, I'm just sitting in class, and I'm talking around with all these people, and I'm like, we're all asking when our birthdays, we're going over birthdays, how old we are and stuff, and all these people are still the same age as me. Even like a gap year, because me and Jared have the same birthday. I don't know if you knew that. Same
exact birthday?
Yeah, fun fact. Me and Jared, 29? For those who know who Jared is, same birthday, born in the same hospital, born in the same room. And the story that goes behind that is supposedly I was going to be born first.
No way.
And my mom was in labor with me. And because I guess it was just kind of a mellow thing, and I was a C-section, so it wasn't anything too crazy. I don't know what they were.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, they just here comes Jared's mom, like, and she's like pushing out twins.
Yeah.
And they asked my mom if she could like wait, or like they like moved her like somewhere else so like they can come out first. So that's crazy because I really took a L before I was even born, which is like the story of my life. So that's kind of how it went. And then ever since, we just, whenever it was our birthdays growing up, we always made sure to link up and go watch a lot of the movies, go bowling or something. So yeah, fun fact.
That's sick.
Yeah, we got the same birthday, and it's funny because I don't know anybody else who does this. Whenever it's our birthday, I'll like be like, "Yo, happy birthday, y'all," and they'll be like, "Happy birthday, bro." It's just like, it's so weird that like the way that works.
That response, I actually have someone like that. She doesn't live in the same country, so we just like hit each other up. We're like, "Yo, happy birthday!"
Yeah,
and she responds with "Happy birthday."
Yeah, that's still cool though.
Yeah,
that's what's up. But yeah, man, that's the biggest thing, man. I think people need to learn that. You know, sure. You only and we're gonna get into this because you only get one life, as far as we know. I'm religious. I believe you are as well. I'm religious. Like, you know, I like, for me, it's God, and I just say I'm a Christian Catholic. That's how I kind of find my peace. But even then, it's faith for a reason. Nothing's guaranteed. Yeah. And I think once you finally realize that, that's when you're like, okay, I gotta live for me, not for other people. Absolutely. I'm gonna wear what I feel comfortable in today, and not dress like some damn model because I'm afraid of what people will think about me. Yeah. That stuff's gotta go. Yeah. And the reason I'm saying this is because during spring break, did you go to Florida?
I did not.
Or did you go on vacation or anywhere? I felt like everybody was.
Yeah, Jared did.
I saw that because, well, everyone's on vacation and everything. I had my very first "oh my god, I'm gonna die" moment ever. I don't know if you've ever had that. I shit you not. I'm sitting right in this very chair, and because I play like PlayStation, like looking at this TV, sitting right here. Obviously, I'm facing the TV, but I'm sitting down at 1 a.m, scrolling like the deep dive and like TikTok and YouTube, like one of those days, one of those kind of nights, and it just hit me like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. Like, and it's so weird to just say that, to think that, because like we're all here just casually going through life, and I don't know if your grandparents are still with you. Yeah, mine no longer are.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. But like, just the fact that you're gonna be that person. Yeah. Like you know, whether it's like on hospice or you just pass away of natural causes, and it doesn't sound real, and it sounds like a joke. Yeah. And I sound like a one of those conspiracy theorists when I say we're just a bunch of tiny people on this rolling ball in space. Yeah. And some like vast thing called like the galaxy, and like there's so much other stuff. Like, it sounds like a joke. Yeah. I sound like it just sounds weird.
That's like,
we're like the little bacteria.
Exactly.
It's just like so tiny.
And that's like part of the reason why I feel like I am religious. Like, I'm not crazy religious in the sense where like I'm only talking about that stuff.
Oh yeah,
but
no, not at all.
100% an aspect of my life.
Yeah, me too.
And just like my life, just like your life, just like everyone's life, there are so many things that had to have happened in the most perfect way for the
You
earth.
keep talking. I just want to check out the camera.
There are so many like things that had to happen perfectly for the earth to even be a thing.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like, that's not.
I love
like,
that you said that.
Like, don't talk to me about no Big Bang Theory. Bro.
Oh, okay.
Don't talk to me about all those like dumb things that like are not.
But see, what if it was God that created the Big Bang?
Well, then that's a different story. Now I can entertain that thought.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I'm like, okay, maybe.
And I'm not the type of person to like ever shut out anyone's thought or idea or belief, because like I am fully respectful of everyone in any way. But I'm just like, I'm secure in my belief, and that's why I love having conversations about that. Oh yeah. Because I'm so secure in my belief that we can have a conversation. You could have a good point, and I might take that into account, but it's not going to change the way I believe, you know, in my religion or in you know, in God and stuff like that. So
my brother's girl was raised in like going to Catholic school, straight edge, like the whole like, I don't necessarily, because I don't know the Bible that much. I'm gonna be honest, like, I hardly know it, and I don't know where in the Bible it says this, but everyone always brings this up. The whole like, do gays go to hell? And that's not like not trying to get political here. I don't believe that to be the case whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't believe an almighty creator would damn anybody as soon as they're born.
Absolutely.
Whatever the case is, I believe everyone. If you truly, be a good person in general. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit what your preference is, what you want to identify as. You just be the best person you can be. I believe everyone gets a fair shake.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where she was just so straight edge, like, and she hated the fact that she had to say that because like it was instilled in her the fact that like those little things, like the whole gay situation or whatever. And I was just trying to pick her brain like little by little, and then I just found my own little loophole or wormhole where it was, dude, because like think about this, and this is like a little deep because it's like, okay, do you believe dinosaurs existed?
Honestly, I've never really.
Like,
I mean,
like what are your thoughts on that? You think maybe?
I've never given that a lot of thought, to be honest.
Because okay, so like based off like museums and like fossils and stuff, I'll say yes. Okay? So I believe dinosaurs existed, right? When Adam and Eve were created, okay, and then they just came down to Earth and things started. Where did the dinosaurs fit in?
Yeah.
And then the whole caveman thing. Was that all beforehand and then, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, then that comes to the evolution. And then it's like, okay, let's not talk about this. Because, like, no, but, like, it's seriously one of those things where you have to think. And the more I think about it, I think a lot of stuff in the Bible is more, like, metaphorical.
Yeah.
More story-based.
Applicable, yeah.
Yeah, and as much as I believe that there were definitely some stuff that went on back then that people saw that I don't think we're probably worthy of seeing, given how we are as a society these days, I think that's definitely... There's definitely a decent shot at that.
Yeah.
But I do think that the Bible's more like storytelling, and it's like we're telling you these stories so you could adapt these to your life.
Absolutely.
And you can learn how to access the key to like your whatever it is to kind of gain that. Yeah. That whether it's knowledge, like apply that to your life to like eventually get into heaven or like just however it is you want to live your life. So, man, like whether it's the Bible and religion and science, it's just constantly one of those things where, at the end of the day, it's faith. Yeah. Because I was talking with somebody when I went to Florida back in January, and we were talking, and they were saying, how like do you believe like if God is like, if there was a God, then how is there this? How is there that? And then we were just constantly we weren't arguing, but we were bouncing off ideas off each other for sure, and it just ended where. I was like, look, at the end of the day, it's called faith for a reason. Yeah. Like, there's no, like, God is, like, absolutely. It's faith. It's something you got to believe in. And that's also, like, the greatest mystery of life itself is what happens when you die. Yeah. That, like, there's no other, and that's, I don't know the other guarantee in life, but, like, death is imminent. Like, that's the number one thing that cannot be changed. And it sucks. Yeah. Here we are in our 20s. Yeah. And having a good time right now. We're enjoying our life. And like that's the one thing. Die. That's the end of the ride. And I had that first moment over spring break, just like, what the hell, dude? Yeah. Why am I here? Yeah. Like why? Exactly. Why? And then you see those memes where it's like me racing out all the other sperm just to like be born, or like all the other potential future presidents and doctors just so my ass could be here. No, and it's like, what the hell? So and yeah, I don't know, man.
It's crazy, and like I think that's what makes life so much more meaningful.
Oh yeah,
you know you're gonna die. Make it fucking count.
Exactly.
Like, make your life count. There's no other way around it. Like there's, and I used to do this. I used to just sit my ass on the couch, or I just used to be chilling a lot. Like now, I mean, I'm turning 23 this year, so like
Jordan here.
Look at that. Man. I'm just in this phase of like, I want to start making more progress faster. Yeah, and I just want to grow in every aspect of my life, and I know I can't do that with just sitting my ass down doing nothing. Yeah. So that's just where I am. And I guess it comes with age, because I remember I literally talked about this the other day with myself, which is like kind of weird. I do it a lot. Right. That's why I think I have a podcast, because like I have crazy conversations in my head, just like figuring stuff out, doing this. Am I gonna do that? Am I gonna do this? Right. And you know, I'm just like, what if? And it's just that big question of like what you asked, like, what if I knew even just a fraction of what I knew now when I was in high school or my freshman year, like, or you know what I'm saying, like all of that stuff, and that just makes me hungry to like to just move faster and like try to make as much progress as I can.
Yeah. I'm just glad I'm not that person that lives with a ton of regret.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know about you, because for me, there was definitely a lot of mistakes I made growing up, but I think that's the human experience. You know, we all live, we all learn, and
Absolutely.
And the thing is like when I look back, it's like, and it's funny. The only thing I would have changed, but here's the thing: I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be having this conversation if this didn't happen. I always say, I wish I played tennis instead of football, because dude, seriously, I took so much. Here's the thing with soccer. The beauty of soccer is like the worst thing that can happen to you is you get kicked in the leg.
Yeah.
You get hit by you get rocked by the ball going for a header or something, or like in volleyball you just get like spiked in the back. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. For football, especially being a bigger boy, like, bro, we're constantly clanging heads.
Yeah.
Like, that is like blunt force, CTE. Like, bro, like there's so many
literally.
times I'm like, yeah, I think I might have it. Like, I think I might be a vegetable when I'm like 80, because I seriously, I probably had at least 1 or 2 concussions.
Yeah.
But and that goes back to the thing where it's like, don't be afraid to be yourself.
Yeah.
Because I was the person like, boys don't cry, boys don't complain. I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you know some of the people that went to where we went in high school.
Yeah.
So there's some of those people. It's like, you get caught lacking, or you get caught, you will get they will they will ride your ass. Like, they will make you look like nothing. And
Absolutely.
I was just, I don't want to, like, I just didn't like being bullied. Like, I was bullied growing up. Mm-hmm. But in high school, I was more, I'd like to say, hazed than bullied.
Yeah.
Like, just like playing around. But I don't like playing games. I don't like to be played around with. Mm-hmm. So to be hurt constantly physically, along with being on edge, like mentally, it was just.
Do you think it was worth it? Like, you playing? Did you?
See, no, yes, because I wouldn't, like I said,
where you are now.
Wouldn't be where you are now, because the whole butterfly effect thing.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have made the connections. I wouldn't have the stories I've told. I wouldn't have, you don't have that stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I will say, knowing what I know now, I don't think if I have a kid and they wanted to play football, if I did have a boy, that I would let them play until high school.
Yeah.
Because of how serious the whole head thing is.
Yeah, the health.
And I didn't play all the way until high school. So, and I think I adjusted just fine.
Mm-hmm.
I would just probably teach my kid all the ins and outs all the way until high school.
Yeah.
And then let him play, keep him in shape or whatever. But
and it's funny you say that, because the reason I didn't play football in high school is because my mom never signed the permission slip. Like, my mom, like,
and a lot of parents did that more than you would think.
Yeah. And like my mom was like, I just don't want you. It's like too dangerous.
Oh yeah.
And I grew up playing soccer.
What position did you play, by the way, for the people that?
So all of my soccer career up until high school, I played striker. My freshman year, I played striker. I thought I was fairly good at it.
Yeah.
But so then my sophomore year, I switched to right back. And that's like kind of where I fell into. It was like,
and that's a big change.
Yeah.
Going from being the guy that scores most of the goals to all the way on defense.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I think it gave me, some experience in like a way of like, I'm the one attacking and now I'm the one defending, so I kind of know what's going through your head when you're coming at me. You know what I mean?
And that's, I like that.
So like, I use that to my advantage. Like, that's smart. I would use it
like,
to, like,
I know what I would do if that was me. So,
exactly. So I'm anticipating, or like it helped me a lot.
What's your ethnicity, by the way? Are you Puerto Rican?
I'm Puerto Rican. Yeah.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
I mean, I'm half and half. Mm-hmm. So I was watching my other half's Italian, and I'm sure you know that Italy played yesterday against North Macedonia, and 32 attempts, no goal. Yeah, we're recording this on a Saturday, by the way, but no goal. And I was pissed, but I'm nowhere near as pissed as my other friend.
Absolutely, I actually know
ridiculous.
there's a few Italians on my soccer team. So
were they pissed? Or they had a group chat going?
They were livid, bro. They were pissed. 8
years now without a World Cup appearance.
Yeah, which is wild.
That's ridiculous.
Because they went from having like Pirlo.
They just won the Euros.
Yeah,
like
bro.
What the hell, dude?
So it's just, it literally can fall apart so quickly, and that's like, I'm an Eagles fan, so we went from building to winning a championship against the Patriots and Tom Brady,
which was my favorite Super Bowl, actually.
That was my favorite one. I loved that Super Bowl.
That's like a Cinderella story,
bro. It was beautiful. Nick Foles,
No, that was
everything.
amazing.
Everything about that Super Bowl was just like underdog mentality.
Yeah.
Like perfect everything. And then they fell apart the next year. But yeah.
The difference between that is like that was one of those things where the roster was ready to win, and so I'm a Bengals fan. I'm sure you know because for the Super Bowl, like I was having people over. People were texting because like I'm the only one that majority of the people know, especially Connecticut. Like how many Bengals fans you know in Connecticut?
I only know one other Bengals fan.
Yeah, but like how rare is that? And me, like I'm
exactly.
like I listen to like the Bengals podcast. I read the art. Like I'm like a sweat. Like I might as well just like bring me into the coaching staff. Like that's how well I know the team. Like make me the water boy. Make me the GM. Like that's how into it I am. And the team was they were a good team. Bengals they will have another chance to make the Super Bowl again this year.
Oh, for sure.
It's not guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed. But especially with the quarterback we have, like we are in line to make it as long as he's healthy. But the difference is the Eagles had a great offensive line, a great defense, and Carson Wentz would have won MVP. That had a good shot to if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
For us,
we had a good running back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You had. Did you have Blunt?
We had Blunt, Ajayi, and not Fournette. Was it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Miles Sanders. It was he? Is he like short, like kind of stocky?
What's his name?
Boston Scott.
Boston Scott.
Was it Boston Scott?
He's like 5'6".
Yeah,
5'6", like 200 pounds.
Yeah. But like you guys had a roster that was ready to win.
Yeah.
Us, we have a roster that can compete with anybody, especially now. And last year, I believe we did. But I do think it was a little too soon because we went into the Super Bowl like with no offensive line. Like, as no disrespect to those guys, it is very hard to play. I played it in high school. I mean, according to my yearbook, it says I played wide receiver and linebacker somehow. So I'm just gonna tell my kids I was just disgusting at football. But yeah, man, that was a brutal game to watch. One of my boys is a Rams fan, and we watched it here, and it was friendly banter and stuff, and I had a bunch of people over, and it just sucked just seeing Burrow just get hit that many times. And I'm wearing his college jersey right now, LSU. Shout out to LSU, but yeah, it was a little too soon. It was a great game. I was obviously heartbroken. I mean that week I just felt like a zombie. But it's good because. I mean, at least you get to say you saw your team make it and win.
Yeah.
Everyone else I know have now seen their team make it and win, except for me. I've seen my team make it now, which is a check. Now we got to make it and win. So I would like to think I got at least 50-something years left in me. I would like to think, knock on wood. So, like, hopefully I see a win. And I was going to get a tattoo. If we won, I would have got, like, a Bengals logo and then the trophy. Or like a Lombardi trophy or something underneath.
Oh, for real?
Side. Yeah, I was gonna do that only if we won.
Yeah.
So we didn't. So, not until we won. But,
what you do with the year you guys do win?
Oh yeah, 100%. Sports is great. It's a beautiful thing. It's a great way to bond and make everlasting friends. Like I'm sure you know from. I mean, dude, like you were on championship teams for volleyball, like that, like not just being like playing a sport. Playing a sport's one thing, you do make connections, but being on a championship winning team, that's forever.
Yeah,
your ring, that's forever.
Yeah,
you get to literally give one, not just two, but one of your rings to your kid and say, look at this. Like I can tell you the story of this year, like this season, everything that went into it, who did what versus what happened the next year, whole new story. Yeah, so that's a crazy thing.
So yeah, and two points to that. So, I don't know if you know this personally, but I grew up in Hartford.
I didn't know that.
I live in Hartford up until this year. Well, not this year. Last year. In July, I moved out, got my own place.
Right.
But I lived in Hartford my whole life. And then I went to school in Newington. But I think what helped me is the aspect of sports. Sports. So, I was able to play in Newington. So, I played soccer, like, in Newington up until... literally I graduated. So that I think that to the point of you saying that you make friends, you make bonds, and you have experiences, like I think that my experience with living in Hartford, growing up in Hartford and going to Newington was a lot smoother just because of the simple fact of me playing a sport.
Yeah.
And then there was another thing I was going to say. So championship team. I So my freshman year, like I said, I wasn't called up, and then my sophomore year, I was one of 2 liberos. So I was a libero.
Isn't the person that sets the balls for?
So I'm the different colored jersey. So
yeah.
I'm the one that does like a lot of the passing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like that. That was like, so I'm in the sport of volleyball. I'm short, so 9 times out of 10 I would be the passer because there was someone who was taller than me that could hit the ball, at a higher spot, which made it easier. So I went from playing. I started at outside hitter, setter, then I went to libero, and I found my home in that spot. And junior, senior year, that's when I really started to morph into like the player where I was like, getting all the time.
Did you play it because you like the teammates you had, or did you play because you genuinely love the game?
I love volleyball, and this is actually something that this is something that I've never like said publicly. I've only told like a few people this. Okay. I grew up playing the sport of soccer, and I picked up volleyball in high school, and I could genuinely say that I like volleyball more than soccer. And I don't know what it is. It's just like the sport itself. Like I genuinely just, and not even like that I was good at it. It was so much fun. Yeah. So then my junior year I got all conference. Senior year I got all conference, all state, and I got MVP of the state championship.
Wow. So I actually didn't know that. That's sick.
So like that whole like story in itself is like, I will forever tell my kids that story. Yeah. And the difference between soccer and volleyball was that I went from sophomore, junior year, I'm like, I'm gonna play soccer in college. Then my senior year, I realized that, oh shit, I really probably should have been doing all the recruiting, doing all that stuff, not for soccer but for volleyball.
But you still glad where you're at?
100%. So my freshman year, I went to CCSU and I played volleyball there. Okay.
And did you play with Harmon?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, I'm friends with Harmon.
Yeah. I played with Harmon. That's my boy. Yeah. So I played with him, and then and I also played with one of my other boys. Shout out to him, Kumar. He went to Enfield High. Okay. That's where we met, and then we actually both transferred to University of St. Joseph in the same year. Wow.
So I keep hearing this. So that used to be an all girls school.
Yeah.
When did they make that change to
2018?
Wow. That's very recent. That's sick.
Yeah. So my first year that I transferred in was the first year they made it co-ed.
That's dope.
Mm-hmm. So it was an adjustment. It was an adjustment, one, because I went from a school where it's like 12,000 people, CCSU, to a school that's like 1,500.
It's that small?
It's small. It's a small school.
I didn't realize that.
Dang. So there's that adjustment, and then on top of it, it was an all-girl school. Yeah. So now my freshman, not freshman class, but that class is like, it was like, it was more sports oriented because they opened up, I think it was soccer, basketball, and lacrosse the following year. So the second year they made a co-ed. So the main sports that they had were cross country, obviously, because that's fairly easy to make as a collegiate sport, and soccer and basketball. And so the guys that came to the school were more sports oriented. Mm-hmm. So that was definitely another adjustment that we had there. So it was, but I absolutely would not have wanted to go anywhere else. Yeah. Because one, it was close, but I still had the opportunity if I wanted to live on campus. And just the connections that I've made there, just everything about it is just, I don't think I'd be as far as I am right now if I didn't go there.
And that's great what you said, because man, like I said, no regrets, but I didn't love football. Mm-hmm. And that's a crazy thing for some people to hear, because I played all 4 years, never once batted an eye of thinking of quitting. Yeah. And people could say what they want about our record and stuff like that. Like I know what went on in the locker room, and the thing is, like, for the most part, in a lot of our games, including my junior year, is we were in a ton of games at halftime, and then we just we never had that, whether it was the want, just like that final chemistry that like pushed us past that barrier to like finish off a game. Yeah. And the difference between us going 3-7 one year could have been easily 8-2 in a different scenario, in a different world.
Yeah.
So, I never really cared about the stuff whether in terms of like whether our student fan section, cheered for us, because I know everyone talks shit about us. Like why are we even here? They're just there to like have a good time. But they knew like we weren't good and stuff like that. But there was a lot of intricacies that went into that. But I love football, everything about football. But playing is a different beast.
Yeah.
And when I hear, because I'm really into the whole scouting stuff and learning what it takes for a person in college to go through the whole portal and go through the whole process of the combine, then the draft. And the biggest thing they look for is who truly loves the sport or who's doing it because they're good at it and can get paid. There's a difference. And you got to find the people that truly love it and they're not BSing you. So, I was just the person that just did it just to do it. And I did it because of I had a lot of really close friends on the team. And, yeah, man, if I'm just being honest, and I'll never ever single out anybody, but like we just had a toxic environment, just in general.
Oh, I know.
Because you know how the town was. Like certain people are always going to parties on certain things. Like if you're an athlete, like if you straight up ask me, unless you were already getting paid and like you're really really good at what you're doing, it's guaranteed. Like if you ask me, like man, your ass, especially coming off a loss, should not be going to a party. Like your ass should be hitting the film, learning what you did wrong, taking it in and getting ready to go the next day, because on Saturdays we'd go like rewatch film, break stuff down. Like that's what you actually be committed to if you're on the team during that. And then in the off season, whatever, do whatever it is you want. Yeah. But that's just kind of how things were.
And that's what separates a good player from a great player. Yeah. And especially in high school, it's hard to have that commitment.
Oh yeah. And this is coming from a person who didn't like it.
And I
hated it.
Exactly. And like that's what is hard, because like in high school you have the people who are just playing to play, and then there's people who are playing because they love the sport, and then there's people that are playing whether they love the sport or not to play further. You know what I'm saying? So like there's a bunch of different levels of like commitment that are on a high school team that makes it hard for when you want to be the best in the state. You know what I'm saying? So like the same and I know exactly what you mean with like all the toxicity and all that stuff, because like obviously you went to the same school, so you
know how it goes.
Yeah, and I remember vividly my senior year, man. I remember having to like just deal with shit that like I didn't want to deal with, but I just did solely because I loved the sport and I wanted to win. Yeah. So there was just like people I was dealing with that I didn't want to deal with, situations that I was diffusing because I wanted the chemistry to be as high as it could be going into the run of my final year as a high school volleyball player. So just that balance of trying to find where, how to deal with situations, because there was a bunch of times where people would argue with the coach or argue with each other. And, the state championship was like crazy because we went down 2 sets. So in volleyball, just for people who don't know, like you need to win 3 out of 5 sets. So we went down the first 2 sets, and we ended up coming back to win the next 3. Yeah. So that second set, after we finished, everyone was down. Like, everyone was like, fuck, we're losing. Like, this is, like, damn, like, our last year or whatever. And I remember, like, just sitting down, like, yo, we need to wake the fuck up. Like, and that moment, you could tell everybody wanted it. Yeah. And from that moment on, I knew we were going to win. Because, like, sick. It's, like, that mental switch of, like, we still really can't do this. Yeah. And, like, it has to come from everyone. Yeah. Especially because it's a team sport.
Yeah, everyone's got to be bought in.
And that, everybody. And to the point that, and I'm speaking to that point that you made of, like, in football, it's the same thing. Like, everyone has to want it. Everyone has to want to do it and to win. And, like, it's hard to win when not everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, and, man, we went to one of those, like, sleepaway camps our senior year to do some, like, team bonding. We practiced, like, it was in Chicopee, Mass. Mm-hmm. And we were in like the secluded, like nice little park sort of deal, and like we were practicing in like this just circled in like tree area. Like it was sick. It was like a field, and then it's like totally circled around by trees, so you couldn't like see the practices from afar or anything. And we're just in the woods doing our thing, and there's a bunch of log cabins, and we all paired up, and they put certain people that didn't get along with each other in certain cabins and stuff for team bonding. We weren't allowed to bring our phones. Yeah. Some people obviously did and just snuck them in, and especially because it was during the McGregor Mayweather fight, the boxing big time fight? Yeah. So like that was a big deal. So some people brought their phones just to watch. I didn't, but I just heard who won. Yeah. And I remember the last night or like the first night there, all the seniors had a chance to like get up and speak in front of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I said, man, I was like, look, like I know not everyone here agrees or likes one another here, but man, like we gotta get on the same page. Like the one thing I want everyone to walk away with is like we need to just be bought in. Like we need to be like a unit. Like we have so many personalities, man. Like I just wish that we don't leave the season with any regret. That was kind of the one thing I try to preach. And I wasn't really like the biggest speaker or anything.
Yeah.
But like that's just the one thing that came to mind. Like I don't want, and this is coming from someone that doesn't like it, but I loved the team and I loved just the thought of being a part of a process. And this is not many people know this. So many people complain about what we had for a team. I was one of 44 incoming freshmen that played football. 40, I believe it was 44, like 40 something.
Damn.
Guess how many of those 44 stuck with it all 4 years?
Well, like 25.
13. 13. So like that's only 13 core members, and even then, one of the 13, I think 2 of the 13 might have like quit, like because of grades or like something. Mm-hmm. So you only have like 10 seniors, and in football, there's 22 starting positions, both like. Going both ways. 11 on offense, 11 in defense. And right then and there, you already have people that are playing both sides all game.
Yeah.
Real, legit threats of for high schools, like nasty teams, your Windsors, your Southingtons, your Glastonbury. What am I thinking? Whatever. You know, you get the message. So, like, teams like that, they have the starters that play one position only. They have a coach for that exact position. Mm-hmm. For us, we had a coach that coached both sides. And we had to be prepared to play both sides, and like that's high like in high school, majority of high schools like that's what you do. Mm-hmm. But the great ones that got great facilities and the best of the best athletes, like that's what you do. You learn one position and you play it, and you play how it should, and so you get the personality thing along with people already being tired all games and stuff like that. So like I said, there's always a story to every, everything. So excuse me. So yeah, when I played, I had no regrets. I wasn't the biggest. I wasn't the fastest. I wasn't the strongest. I made sure my ass, because like let me tell you something. Like, I put in as much work into that thing as I could have, and anything else, even more than I have in the podcast. Because we got a long way to go for this. But like, that's 4 straight years of consistent effort. No time off. Yeah. There's so many friends I could have made, so many opportunities I could have done something else, but instead I said, I need to go home and I need to study this or I need to do that. Yeah. And that's what fucked me up after high school, because I was so used to being on a schedule and a regimen. See, because you play soccer, you're used to the cardio. So my ass is to go to the gym. I got to get on the treadmill. For me, it's all more about explosive workouts and like certain form drills. Once all that stuff is done, what do you have left? Yeah. I didn't really have a purpose. Mm-hmm. Football was the only thing I had. And I wasn't someone that made a name for myself outside of that. And I wasn't the biggest personality at the time. I was too afraid to share my thoughts at a lunch table. I was too afraid to go up to someone in the hallway and just have a conversation because I felt like the whole world would be staring at me and what I'm doing. So, but all that built me up to the point where I had my little setback, which was my gap year. Like, I don't know if you know this. I mean, I've said it so many times, but like, I didn't walk at my graduation. I kind of shocked my whole class by not going. Just not showing up. And everyone was like, and that's the thing that really pissed me off even more, is because when I was at like my worst, like that wasn't even it, but like leading up to it, I had so many people that didn't even know me personally texting me saying, you should be here right now and stuff like that. And it's like, I would be there. Maybe if you like actually like paid attention this whole time and could have maybe helped me or been there for me, maybe like we wouldn't even be in this situation. But now when I'm like, down, now you want to reach out to me, and like I'm not saying that to like in a bad way, but it's like,
it's hard, man. It's hard, especially being that age. Like that age is difficult to combat everything that you are that's thrown your way. Like being that age, having to deal with like pressures of friends, pressures of school, pressures of sports, pressures of literally what you said, like just walking down the hall, like
and
just stuff
I
like
actually
that.
And I also like I'm sure you probably did. You filled out the pink sheets and like knew you wanted to go to college because you said CCSU freshman year. So I'm assuming you went right after high school, right? Yeah. For me, missed all the deadlines because I just didn't know. Like, whenever people ask me, what do you want to do? That's the only answer I would give, and knew what to give because I was just so overwhelmed by the thought of after this. Because to me, high school was like, I didn't want to think about the future. Like, this is all I have. Like, this town, these people, I can't think about growing up and having to go get into debt or like those thoughts just constantly circling around me. So
scary, bro.
Yeah.
At that age, and it's like, I still think it's crazy that we have to like make decisions for the rest of our lives when we're 17, 18, 19 years old. Like, and obviously that's why everyone has their own path, and like I'm a big preacher of that. Like, you don't need to follow the cookie cutter path, because like that's not that may not be for you. It 9 times out of 10 isn't, because you need to tap into yourself and be able to realize, okay, is this what I like? This is not what I like. And it's not even centered around money, bro. It can't be. Like, and that's like something that I realized early, but then like almost put to the side. Like, because my freshman year, I was like, I'm going to be a physical therapist. I'm going to be an athletic trainer. That's what I want, because I know that makes money. I'm still in sports, and it makes money. And I ended up going my freshman year. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm not, this is not me. Like, this is not me. I don't want to be doing this. So then I ended up switching my major entirely, still in sports, but not in the medical field, more so in the business side. So it's all about just kind of listening to yourself and giving yourself the credit you deserve, in the sense of like, no matter what it is I want to do, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Like, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. And that's like the step that a lot of people don't take when, doing anything, oh shit, like my family is, full of doctors and I want to be a fucking plumber. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just an example. Like, that they won't take the step of doing what they want because they want to stay in the lane of like what everyone else is thinking.
And growing up, I always knew I'm gonna use the term built different, but not in the like what you think. Like, no, I'm not like the elitist of elite. I'm not perfect. I will never claim to be perfect. Just because I have a damn podcast and I'm talking right now, that doesn't make me perfect. It doesn't make me special. I'm just someone using a platform, like using a platform and talking on a platform. Like, that's all it is. I'm not like that, and I promise you, I will never say I'm better than another person. I will never say I'm better than a homeless person. I will never say I'm better than Bill Gates in the flesh. I'm. That's just not how I was raised, and that's just not who I am as a person.
Me neither.
But
I'm very humble.
I
love it.
Yeah, I talked to one of my friends. His father, or one of my friends at the time, his father is an electrician, and I like shadowed him for a day, or like went to his job to see it, like what they do, because I heard they make bank. And when I saw what he does, I was like, this is boring as shit. Like, this does not interest me. And that's what right then and there I was like, it can't. The money has to be second. Obviously, it's great to provide for a family, and that you need to be able to if that's what you want. You need to have a job and everything to provide for a family and have kids and all that. But you also want to find the balance and make sure you're doing something you're good at and what you love. It's got to be sort of both. And right then and there, I was like, this isn't for me. And then once I got to my gap year after working that whole like time off from school, then I was like, holy crap. Like, first of all, it was great for me because I know what happens, or I know what life is like when you're not in school anymore. And I'm telling you right now, if you're listening or watching, a lot of you aren't ready for it. The real world, where you have to wake up, go to work, go to bed 5 days a week, weekends off. You have to work for a whole year, and you get 1 week off. How awful does that sound? Listen to what I just said. I'll say it again. For those that listen. You work from 9 to 5, 5 days a week, 2 days off for the rest of your life until you're like 60, 50, maybe if you're smart and save your money right and get into stocks and investments and stuff. Maybe your late 40s, early 50s. But from right now, you're in 20s. That's like 30 years. Okay, there goes 30 years. For the rest of your life, for the most part.
I'm doing it right now.
That sounds awful. That sounds awful to me. So let me tell you how you can fix that. Let me give you some friendly advice. While you are working, because you should work, unless you're like filthy rich, God bless you. I mean,
God bless,
most of us aren't.
Share the wealth.
So what I suggest is while you're working, find what you love.
Yep.
And work on that craft. Do what you love. If it can possibly make money in the future, if it can get attention that can lead you to certain other platforms or other jobs that you've always dreamed of doing, you got to start doing that. You shouldn't be just trapped in this. You ever see those like pictures or videos of everyone just going in one direction, and then there's one person that is facing the other way? Like, be that person that doesn't follow the flow of what everybody's doing.
Absolutely.
Because my guidance counselor always said in high school, don't take a gap year, because if you take a gap year, you'll never go back to school. I'm in school. I'm going in my 4th year of college. Like, you gotta let people find out what they want for themselves. You can't just tell someone how it is.
Absolutely.
So, and I also wish I was one of those people that, and I'm because this happened to me, it definitely happened to you, where you sit in the auditorium and those people that are already 1 year in college or whatever talk about their experiences. I wish they called me and they're like, obviously I wasn't really connected with the high school, but I wish they take someone that took a gap year and then went to college. And then you explain that whole process. Because if you do it right, like, it does lead to either a future job, can lead you back into school, or if you have a plan. Just like trade school, being a plumber, like you said, being a plumber, that makes first of all, in college, once you get your degree, your job isn't guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that you just get that job right away, because everyone else is also getting that degree and fighting to get the same job that you want. But everyone always, power cables always go out. Toilets and sinks will always break. There's always room for more and more people that can be of service to the little things. And the best part is, while, let's say we don't get into those trades and fields and we're like stuck. So like me, I had my mom had someone come and mount this TV. Like, I didn't do it myself. I don't know how to do that. And someone that either went to school or knows how to do it by hand got paid just for doing that. We're the ones that are going to be the ones calling those people, and we're going to have to pay them. So hats off to you people, the ones that, like, I just had Zach Miller on a few episodes ago, and he's in construction. He says he works like 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week, and he's like doing hard work,
labor,
and he loves it. Imagine that. He's making, and I forget the number he said how much he's made in a year, but like ridiculous stuff.
Good money, good money.
For our age, ridiculous stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what I suggest, man, to you.
Absolutely.
And obviously you got your podcast. I got mine. Find your passion. Make clothes. Make music. Even if it's bad at first, at least you started.
Everything is a process, bro.
It's always going to be a process.
And, like, something that I figured out is find what you love and find a way to make money with it.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Like, there's 100% a way to make money with every single thing that is, any hobby, you can do that in a way while making money. Whether it's sufficient enough to support yourself and others, that's a different story. Like, and that's where the commitment, the passion, and all that stuff comes in to, really make it something that you could live off of. But at first, like you said, find that job, support yourself, and grind at whatever it is your passion is. Right now in my life, like, I am in this funk of, like, trying to have multiple sources of income. And what that looks like, I know is not gonna. It's like, it's hard because, one, you have to have money to make money, but also you need to have time. Time. It doesn't come by easy now, for me at least. And, like, just devoting time to, okay, well, I want to do this to make money. That takes time. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. Now you only have 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. You know what I'm saying? So, like, figuring out, prioritizing, all of those things come into play when you really are trying to figure out what it is that you want to do, or how it is you want to make money.
Right.
And one thing I know a lot of people, you mentioned it too, like stocks, investing, crypto, all of those things. Like,
saving is the biggest thing. Save your damn money.
I'm a big supporter of that realm, but you also have to realize, like, you need to be okay with losing the money you input into there.
It's not guaranteed. Investing isn't guaranteed.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you need to be financially stable enough to be like, okay, well, if I'm gonna put 5,000, 1,000, 500, whatever it is, when I put that money in, I'm not expecting it back.
Right.
Just like gambling, just like paying $3 to try and get the lottery. Like, all of those things you are putting money out, and you can't be expecting it to come back. Yeah. Like, that is, like, my biggest thing. And that's why I got into it, and then I luckily made some money off of it, but now I'm like, I just like pulled out, and I'm like, all right, I need to like
make sure I'm good set first. I was the same way. And I was one of those people where I had friends, with some of my closest friends, like when we heard about the Dogecoin thing, we're like, bro, we gotta get in on this, and and then we all just invested, and then we all pulled up, like, like, hell no, like this is like,
and it's crazy because like there's some people who are like, I'm just gonna put my money in, and then don't do the work of actually learning how to trade or learning how to invest, because like you put your money in, that's your money. Like you should, like, in any way, like with your education, you're paying for the education, so you are inputting the time and the effort to make sure that you do well. With stocks, it's the same way. You put your money in, you should be trying to learn about the company you're investing in, seeing if they're going to be successful, seeing what they're doing to stand out. 100%. How are they going to grow? All of those things is shit you should be looking at if you want to invest your money into something, regardless of what it is. That's how Shark Tank works. That's how stocks work. Like, you need to really, like, gauge, okay, if I'm gonna put my money in this, I'm gonna spend time on it as well. And a lot of people are just going in blind, and that's how they're losing money.
That's what I did, but I pulled out. Like, I didn't gain or win anyway. I was like, hell no, like, I'm not doing that.
I'm not saying it's wrong, because you people can make money off of it.
I wouldn't get into that stuff personally until I have, like, first of all, you need the money to be able to invest the money. And then I need like whether it's like a stable job to where I'm making enough money to like be able to put $20 aside or whatever to like invest. Like, you gotta have like a whole system and a whole way you do things. You can't just, like you said, I can't just take my paycheck and just be, oh, cool, crypto thing. Okay, there goes my whole paycheck. Exactly. I just worked 40 hours this week just to invest, and like I just lose it. That's cool. Like, you gotta have a plan. You gotta save right. You gotta spend it right. Exactly. And it's crazy because like not many people are being taught this stuff.
And that's another thing. Like the stuff we get taught in high school and college, like, well, more so high school, but like they're not applicable
unless
to
you
real life.
Unless you take the business classes. Some of them.
And it's just like those finance classes, bro. I remember in high school I used to be like, nah, should I take the finance class? Nah, I'm not gonna. But like those, no matter what field you go in to work in, you need to know how to budget money. You need to know how to work with numbers. Like, all of that stuff is like stuff that you just need to know how to do. Oh yeah. In more than just 2 + 2 = 4. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, there's a lot that goes into that, and it's just it's very helpful when you are the one doing it. Right. Because it helps. Like, you're not paying someone to do all that work because you know how to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you 100%. And I just want to tell you, because I know we have a few hours, because I know you got to get going. Yeah. We have had an amazing talk. Absolutely. It's been one of my favorites by far. I would love to have you on again.
For sure.
At some point in the future.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Once again, tell the people where they can find your podcast.
So Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I have my Instagram, my actual personal Instagram, where in my bio I literally have everything about my podcast in there. Right. And then I have my podcast Instagram as well. It's Not But Yeah Podcast. Yep. The name of the podcast is Not But Yeah Podcast. So go hit me up, check me out. And if you like it, stick around.
I appreciate your time. You've been very gracious with your time. This has been an amazing talk. This has been an amazing conversation. For those, once again, that are listening or watching YouTube, please make sure you leave a like. Yeah. Subscribe. Spread the word.
Hit that follow button.
This is we are now episode 21, 22, and believe me, I got plenty more episodes left. If this is the first time you're watching one, I got plenty more stuff for you to check out in in the past. I appreciate everyone. I hope everyone has a wonderful day or night whenever you're listening. And with that said, my heart is with you all. Ciao for now.
Peace.